You see, these people are Nigerians. And I believe that Nigerian government has the capacity, the military, the security, have the capacity to deal with them immediately if so directed. If they are given the resources they require, the support and political will. But the collateral damages that will be associated with the actions that will be taken is what I believe should be avoided. If you send an aircraft now to where you identify the bandits, it's not only the bandits that will be affected. And if you recall, Mr. President Umar Musa Adwa had similar interaction with the militants in Niger Delta, and it was successful. So I believe that as Nigerians, if they are called upon by government, the major causes of this problem is poverty and ignorance. You cannot find an educated human being, properly educated human being who has something to do, to take his arm, a gun, to go and kill an innocent soul, just in the name of looking for food. These people are having, very high level of poverty and ignorance. So if the government now comes up with a program of rehabilitation, just like they did in the issue of Boko Haram when the issue, was handled, I'm sure you will have a successful ending of this crisis. The economic policy that the government is planning, if you look at the documents of Renewed Hope, I'm sure by the time the implementation takes off properly, all these issues will be handled. After this. Yeah, you see, the issue of Zamfara, like you rightly said, I'm now a father in Zamfara. And even Mr. President, in my interaction this morning, or this afternoon, has requested me to put my best to ensure that there is stability in the state. And that is what we are doing already. And by the grace of God, we will come together and you see that all the crises that are going on will be over. And I keep on saying that the best way to go about these bandits, handling the issue of bandits, should be introduction of dialogue first. But as I said, if that fails, then the government will go all out to eliminate them. Why I say we should start discussing with them is to avoid the collateral damages that may come up if intensive and extensive military operations are directed. But that should be the last option. You look at World War I and World War II. The wars were not ended in the battlefield. They were ended on the table. They had to negotiate. So negotiation is part of governance. Once you negotiate with your enemies, you will end up pleasing them. Some of them, like I said, the reason for doing it are two: ignorance and poverty. So what you need to do is to identify what you can do to salvage these people and make sure that they are reintegrated back into society.
Two more questions.
Yeah, just a follow-up question, actually. The immediate past governor tried this strategy of dialoguing with bandits, and he failed. Hopefully.
The state government has no capacity to do that.
Even him admitted to it. So whoever is involved in this negotiating process really doesn't matter, as long as what you've suggested has been implemented and it's fair. You saw it fair.
No, you see.
So I don't know what's extra, you think the federal government will be deploying in this negotiating process. And again, if you actually
You cannot compare state actions with the federal government action. The federal government has enough human and material resources to handle any crisis that may come up in the society. State governments have limited funds and resources. So if they negotiate and they don't have the capacity to reintegrate these people back to the society, you will not have solution to the problem. Like I said, Niger Delta, it was not Niger Delta states that negotiated with the militants. It was the federal government that came up with a robust program that attracted their attention. Like I said, this issue is just poverty and ignorance. Educate them, reintegrate them to the society, provide solution for their poverty issues. You see that all these problems will be over. And in my tenure, there was nothing like that. Ask anybody. In my tenure, like I said, my only problem used to be when I took over, we had problem of armed robbery, and it was handled within the first year of my tenure.
Last two, then you trust.
Not only confirmed, he announced it before I even came today. And all Nigerians are aware through the media that the federal government has directed the opening of the border. And the semi-border, you can see the celebration that took place when it was opened. So I think the opening of the border is a policy of the government that need to be applauded.
Yeah.
You see, I'm not making a case for bandits. I'm just proposing a solution to banditry in Nigeria. The bandits, a lot of them have been killed, a lot of them have been arrested, and I'm not saying that the government should just continue to just negotiate indefinitely. No, I said invite them. There are people who repent in all religions, Islam, Christianity, Judaism. You find that God himself who created us, once you repent after committing offenses, after committing sin, he forgives you. So there is no way you can say Nigerians should not be forgiven for if they repent. If they repent, they should be rehabilitated and integrated in the society, and then measures will be taken to avoid the occurrence of this menace. But if they don't, like I said, the government has enough power, enough resources. The military security have enough capacity. Nigerian security, I have confidence in them that they have capacity with the political will and support of government to handle this matter. So dialogue is part of governance. Negotiations, like I said, First World War and Second World War were won through the negotiation, on the negotiation table. Look at Ukraine and Russia. How far have they gone? How many years so far? And there is no end in sight. If they continue to do military action, in the end there is not going to be Ukraine. But they have to come back to negotiation table because it's part of governance, policies and program. Yeah. Not most of them. They are recruiting Nigerians. We are talking of Nigerians. If Nigerians don't give them the support, if there is no poverty and ignorance among the Nigerians that are being recruited, this will just end, will not continue. Thank you. The removal of subsidy on the day of inauguration is the best decision. Otherwise, this would not have happened. Mr. President, former President Muhammadu Buhari has planned to do this many times. But in the end, he shifted the takeoff of the removal to June. And Mr. President, as a rugged and very serious person who has ruled Lagos successfully for 8 years, in fact, continuously, he knew that this thing has to go, and he quickly removed it. And in economics, once the forces of demand and supply are in place, we will have equilibrium in the prices. The price of crude oil, I mean petroleum, that went up, in some places, people were buying it at the same price. And I'm sure the palliatives the government is discussing with the Labour Congress and TUC, and in due course, I'm sure things will be put in place to reduce the hardship being experienced by Nigerians.